Something to talk about? Call Justin Smith on 2UE. Anytime, about anything. 13 13 32.
All right, Gammy. Last night's 60 Minutes was incredibly good TV. Terrific interviewing by Tara Brown, and one of the least convincing performances that you will ever see. And it was a performance. David Farnell and his wife, David Farnell is a convicted child sex offender, showed an incredible arrogance, in my opinion, last night. There was something in his eyes that really gave it away. I wonder if he's been actually doing this his entire life. Does he sit back and think he can just look people in the eye, cry once in a while, feed people a load of rubbish, and they will believe him? We already know what a terrible human being he is, with 22 convictions of child sex abuse. But his story last night was so unbelievable. Nobody was convinced. Tara Brown absolutely took him apart with straight questions. There were no tricks. There were no dramatics. Just questions.
Did you think that perhaps one of you should have stayed and fought for your son?
Our visa was running out.
Did you apply to extend it?
No. I wanted to get back to Australia and go through the authorities so we could get our daughter.
But to this point, you've not gone to the authorities at all to get your son?
Not about our son, no.
Some of the claims made by the surrogate mother is that when you were in hospital with your children, that you cared very much for your daughter, but you didn't even look at your son.
No.
That you never held him, that you never bought milk for him.
We bought milk for both babies. We bought nappies for both babies.
Do you have photos of him?
No.
Could not take the photo in the hospital.
Really? Did you ask to take photos?
We did.
No.
No, we did ask. The nurse said there was no, you cannot take
nurse
photos.
could say no, yeah.
What?
Could not take photo in the hospital, inside the hospital.
How many times have you been back in touch with the agency to find out about the health of your son, to find out if you can get him back again? How many times have you called them?
But the agency is...
The agency...
The bankrupt is not anymore.
Yeah, it's closed down now because of the publicity over your case. But prior to that, how many times did you contact them?
We've contacted the lady when we got back to Australia.
The guy between you and the surrogate mother?
Middle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How many times?
To send some money over there to look after our boy.
How much money did you send?
I can't remember how much. It was a few $1,000s to look after him until we can get back there.
And when were you planning on going back?
As soon as our daughter was safe.
So you contacted the go-between once and sent money once?
Yes.
And how many times have you called to see how your son is?
We haven't.
You haven't?
No.
I'd love your reaction to that. That was 60 Minutes last night. Tara Brown doing the interviewing of David Farnell and his wife. Did you believe one single word of that? 13 13 32. Farnell carried on about fighting for Gammy, but admitted, as you heard there, that he has no photos of the child. He's not done one thing to find out about the welfare of the child, and says he can't make contact with the surrogacy agents in Thailand, but talked about having confrontational conversations with the surrogate mother, who can't speak a word of English. They also talked about going to the Australian embassy to get their daughter out of the country. Now, just put yourself in this situation. Is it possible to believe that you would have taken multiple trips to Thailand, as they said, to arrange all of this, and then you wait until the child is born and you're about to leave before you organise getting them out? It is absolute nonsense. But there's still time for a good outcome here. Gammy is far better off with his surrogate mother, now supported by that $240,000 worth of donations from Australia, from Australian people. And the community services authorities are now investigating the situation of this family in WA. And I tell you this, the sooner they arrive at the decision of taking the little girl that they brought home away from this horrible creature, the better off we'll all be.